Iranian capital Tehran has just hosted the 5th International Conference on Islamic Awakening, with over 700 scholars from 63 Muslim and non-Muslim countries taking part. Starting on April 29th, the two-day Ulama and Islamic Awakening Conference focused on the latest events in the Muslim world, offering potential solutions to the challenges faced by Muslims all around the world. The conference is organized and held under the auspices of the World Assembly of Islamic Awakening, a body established by the Islamic Republic of Iran in the wake of the Islamic Awakening movement. The Ulama and Islamic Awakening Conference focused mainly on the crisis in Syria and the ongoing Palestine-Israel conflict. The conference also emphasized as key the role of Muslim scholars in fostering further unity among Muslims around the world. The Islamic Republic of Iran has been a staunch supporter of the Muslim revolutions and uprisings in the region since their inception on December 18, 2010, and vows continued support until final victory of the Muslims over the ruling dictators. Many scholars trace the roots of the current revolutions in the Middle East and North Africa to the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran led by Imam Khomeini. On December 18, 2010, protests broke out in Tunisia, leading to the ouster of President Ben Ali, followed by demonstrations in other Muslim countries toppling authoritarian regimes in Egypt, Libya, and Yemen. Many see economic dissatisfaction as a root cause of the protests. However, Middle East analyst Hossein Rouivaran has a different view.
مقاومت در لبنان و فلسطین مهمترین متغیری است که باورهای مردم را تغییر داد. شکست دادن اسرائیل در ابعاد نظامی یکی از مهمترین متغیرهای تغییر باور در سطح منطقه. مردم از خودشون سوال میکردن اگر میشه اسرائیل که یکی از 5 قدرت بزرگ نظامی دنیاست شکست داد، پس میتوان مبارک را، قذافی را، بن علی را هم شکست داد. اگر میشه آمریکا را در عراق توسط مقاومت شکست داد، پس اگر مردم به سمت قیام برند میتوانند این رژیم های پوشالی را هم شکست بدن. لذا اولا وجود الگو که مقاومت بوده، دو نیاز انسان به اینکه یک زندگی شرافتمندانه همراه با عزت داشته باشه. آنچه که این رژیم های استبدادی هدف قرار داده بودن روح انسان بوده، روح آزادگی و عزت انسانی بوده که مردم با قیام های خودشون موفق شدن این را تحقق ببخشند.
Even after toppling their ruling dictators, many revolutionaries are still on the streets calling for more meaningful democratic changes. Frictions among different political and religious groups remain, foreboding wider conflict. Some analysts blame lack of post-revolution planning for the ongoing divides and problems.
بیداری اسلامی از لحاظ توریک تضادهایی را بین منطقه و جوامع با غرب تعریف کرد. چرا؟ به دلیل اینکه نظامهایی بر مردم حاکم بود، نظامهای استبدادی که مورد حمایت غرب بود. غرب تداوم این رژیم ها را تضمین کرده بود. به همین دلیل این قیام تضاد با غرب پیدا کرد. غرب برای اینکه غافلگیر شده بود اما در مدیریت بحران، در حمله متقابل یا پاتک به سرعت اومد این تضادها را به داخل منتقل کرد. یعنی اومد بحث شیعه و سنی را مطرح کرد، بحث مسلمان و مسیحی که در مصر ما می‌بینیم مسلمان و قبطی های مسیحی، بحث جریان اسلامی و جریان ملی که در مصر و تونس الان به خوبی اینه می‌بینید که جبهه انقلاب به 2 قسمت با یک سفارایی در تقابل با یک دیگه قرار گرفتن.
As the first country in the world to undergo Islamic revolution more than 3 decades ago, Iran has held several conferences on the Islamic Awakening, sharing the experience with Muslim activists and scholars with the ultimate goal of fostering unity and brotherhood and rooting out tensions and divisions among various political and religious groups in the Muslim world. The Ulama and Islamic Awakening Conference was held mainly to discuss the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, especially vis-a-vis the current needs of the Muslim world, self-assurance and self-reliance among Muslims, ways and means of confronting imperialism and neocolonialism, ways and means of promoting unity among Muslims, and last but not least, preparing the grounds for a new Islamic civilization. The issues were discussed in detail in 6 committees. Committee 1 discussed the theoretical foundation of Islamic Awakening. Committee 2 concentrated on the role of ulama in Islamic Awakening. Committee 3 focused on the topic of ulama, opportunities and challenges in the Islamic world. Committee 4 discussed Islam's desirable political system. Committee 5, the future world and the position of Islamic Ummah. And Committee 6 focused on the great Prophet as a center of unification among the Ummah. On the first day of the gathering, the leader of the Islamic Republic, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, addressed the conference. After emphasizing the importance of the Islamic Awakening and its impact on the geopolitics of the region, he warned against the threats of sectarianism in Muslim countries.
یکی از خطرناکترین چیزهایی که نهضت بیداری اسلامی را تهدید می‌کند اختلاف افکنی و تبدیل این نهضت‌ها به معارضه‌های خونین فرقه‌ای و مذهبی و قومی و ملی است. این توطئه همکنون از سوی سرویس‌های جاسوسی غرب و صهیونیسم با کمک دلارهای نفتی و سیاستمداران خودفروخته از شرق آسیا تا شمال آفریقا و به ویژه در منطقه عربی با جد و اهتمام دنبال می شود و پولی که می توانست در خدمت بهروزی خلق خدا باشد خرج تهدید و تکفیر و ترور و بمبگذاری و ریختن خون مسلمانان و برافروختن آتش کینه‌های دراز مدت می‌گردد.
Escalation of sectarianism and religious disputes in Muslim countries was also among the issues discussed among the participants.
The issue that he dealt with among the other issues, which I consider of paramount importance, is the arousal of sectarian feelings among Muslims. In previous generations and years, Muslims looked upon each other as belonging to the same group of people. There was never any serious division that said you're a Sunni Muslim or you're a Shi'i Muslim. But the new development that we have that is being financed and is being coordinated by internal and external forces is turning up this issue of sectarianism. And the leader of the Islamic Republic and the Islamic Revolution, he shed light on this area so that Muslims are aware of it and not become the victims of it.
Sectarianism was discussed in all committees in the conference, especially in Committee 3. Pakistan, Iraq, and Lebanon are among the Muslim countries in which thousands of people have fallen victim to sectarian violence over the past 2 decades. Sectarian extremists kill innocent people, accusing them of heresy. Nearly all of the Muslim scholars believe that Islamic Sharia strongly forbids sectarian extremism.
A true religion clearly has no room for killing arbitrarily. The only time that it would be fair to use violence, I think, in any sane religion is for self-defense, and only self-defense. So I think the real point of this conference clearly is to unify, to not allow the manipulation to pit people against each other and ultimately serve one interest, which is the tyrants at the top of a pyramid, the Zionists, the Jewish supremacists, the American imperialists, the colonialists, the British Empire, and so on and so forth. Those that sit at the top of that pyramid want to see Muslims fighting each other, which is all the more reason why Muslims should not do it.
Creating unity in the Muslim world has always been one of the most fundamental challenges facing Muslim scholars and thinkers. The conference also paid tribute to and looked into the teachings of some of the most renowned Muslim scholars in recent memory, chief among them Sayyid Jamaluddin Asadabadi, Iqbal Lahori, Sayyid Qutb, Muhammad Baqir Sadr, and Imam Khomeini. Committee 6 of the conference focused on ways of promoting solidarity among Muslim countries.
In the old days, whether it was Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Mahatma Gandhi, all those people during the colonial period, they rose to the level necessary to accomplish their deeds. Imam Khomeini rose to the level necessary to do his job, and he brought the people of the Islamic Republic along with him, right? That is the role of the ulama. They have to improve their work. They have to become better, more skilled. They have to study harder, teach better. They have to motivate more. They have to reach in, they have to bring the best out of people.
In the Muslim world today, Syria is the latest victim of foreign-backed divisions and sectarian violence, with tens of innocent people dying on a daily basis.
Well, Syrian crisis is really a very difficult issue because what is happening is now the fact that United States and its allies are openly supporting the very extremist terrorist groups that they have been condemning, and they were against those groups a few years back. So it's like, from one point of view, it's very open. What's going on in Syria, that they have an agenda, they want to cut back Iran or Hezbollah's support for their resistance against Israel. But on the other hand, they are forming the seeds of discord in Syrian society. Not only that, at a larger scale.
So what is the role of Syrian and other Muslim scholars in resolving the crisis in Syria?
With respect to the role of ulama, there is no doubt that they play a very important role because they are the ones that communicate the message of Islam accurately to the masses and to motivate and mobilize them to rise up against injustices and oppression. So in that sense, the ulama have a very, very important role. The way in which it is explained in the Quran, as well as exemplified by the Sunnah and the Seerah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Another issue discussed in the conference was the Palestine-Israel conflict, with scholars partially blaming lack of unity among Muslims as accessory to Western imperialism.
از 60 سال پیش تا کنون داغی بزرگتر از غصب کشور فلسطین بر دل امت اسلامی نهاده نشده است. فاجعه فلسطین از روز اول تا کنون ترکیبی از کشتار و ترور و ویرانگری و غصب و تعرض به مقدسات اسلامی بوده است. وجوب ایستادگی و مبارزه در برابر این دشمن حربی و غاصب مورد اتفاق همه مذاهب اسلامی و محل اجماع همه جریانات صادق و سالم ملی بوده است.
One of the issues is the foreign intrigue. There are corporate, capitalist, racist interests in the world, represented by what is usually called Zionism and imperialism. And these forces and these interests, they interfere in the internal affairs of Muslims to the detriment of the Muslims themselves. So he was trying to raise the attention level of the ulama, the Islamic scholars here, to this foreign interference in the internal affairs of Muslims that result in civil wars, they result in hostilities, the breakout of wars among Muslims themselves, the occupations and the invasions that we are all privy to. And first and foremost is the occupation of Palestine. That is a central issue that was emphasized by the leader and emphasized by the attendees of this conference.
Also discussed in the conference was the issue of Western-backed acts of sacrilege against Muslim sanctities. In recent years, desecration of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Holy Quran under the pretext of freedom of speech has seen a sharp increase in the Western countries, enraging Muslims all over the world, leading to demonstrations across the Muslim world.
Islam has been targeted by Western society, Western so-called civilization. And I think it's obviously very, very important for Muslims and people in general to get together and find common themes of unity, things that we can all agree on, and what actions we can actually put forward to actually improve the situation. Because if anyone knows what it is to be persecuted in the modern era, it is clearly the Muslim. And I myself, having come from Western society, find it repulsive that we continue to carry out what effectively is some sort of crusade and a clash of civilizations.
What is the best thing we could do? Even in America, with Islamophobia, with fitna everywhere, with the Zionist media calling us names and working against Islam, we believe that the role of the ulama is to go out with a clear conscience, a strong heart, and say that Allah is God, Islam is a good religion, and I am a Muslim. And to prove that I'm a good Muslim, as Amilu Salihat, I am going to, in my behavior, not what I say, but I'm going to work righteous deeds. So today the Muslims have to have confidence. They have to feel confident in themselves. This is one of the things of leadership. So I think the role of the ulama and the role of Iran and the Islamic Republic is to help train the people. And I think this conference right here is a very good beginning.
Committee 4 of the conference brought together more than 80 scholars, with 16 of them presenting papers on the topic of building democratic systems based on Islamic values.
تنفیذ خلافت با حکم مردمه، با حضور مردمه. یعنی دموکراسی شاید غرب به عنوان یک واژه، یک مفهوم و یک عملکرد به دنیا ارائه داد، اما در مفاهیم اسلامی ما بحث مشروعیت انتخابی در کنار مشروعیت دینی از قدیم بوده و این جمله امیرالمؤمنین کاملا این مسئله را نشون میده. اگر مردم حضور پیدا نمی کردند من نمی‌آمدم. پس اراده مردم، یعنی امام و امت دو مقوله است در اسلام. امام امامه، اما زمانی که امت بیاد میتونه امامت امت به عهده بگیره. اگه امت نیاد نمیتونه این کار را انجام بده. به همین دلیل ما یک عمل کرد، یک الگو داریم، اما علمای امروز بر اساس نیازهای معاصر باید اینو بیان باز تولید بکنند. یعنی بر اساس بسیاری از متغیرهای جدید با مکانیزمهای جدید این مسئله را به گونه‌ای مطرح بکنند.
Establishing Islamic-style democracy is a basic pillar of a new Islamic civilization. The scholars unanimously stress the significance of planning, designing, and devising Islamic economic, social, and cultural models for a new Islamic civilization. Scientific development is another main pillar of an ideal Islamic society.
يمكن للمسلمين في العالم أن يدققوا في أبعاد هاتان الركيزتان الأساسيتان لهذه الثورة أو ما أحدثته الثورة على الصعيد العام. المسألة الأولى وهو مسألة التقدم العلمي الذي أحدثته هذه الثورة بحيث أصبحت الجمهورية الإسلامية في مصاف الدول الكبرى على مستوى التقدم العلمي وعلى مستوى التقدم التکنولوژی.
به هر حال ما الان در قرن 21 هستیم. یک نظام نیاز داره به یک تئوری اقتصادی مشخص، تئوری اجتماعی، فرهنگی، سیاسی، روابط بین الملل و در ابعاد مختلف. یعنی الان علوم یک وسعت عجیبی پیدا کرده، لذا به تناسب اون اسلام باید اجتهاد به تناسب اون وسیعی پیدا بکنه. چنین اتفاقی شروع شده اما متناسب نیست، متوازن نیست، توازنی بین نیاز و بین آنچه که داره تولید میشه وجود نداره. اما همین که شروع شده من تصور میکنم یک فرایند مثبتی است که میتواند در آینده تکمیل بشه و یک الگویی با ویژگی های خاص خودش در منطقه اسلامی ایجاد بکنه.
There are more than 1.6 billion Muslims all around the globe, making up over 23% of the world population. As the fastest growing religion in the world, Islam transcends all borders, races, and ethnicities. Rejecting exclusivity, the scholars reiterated the peaceful coexistent nature of the ideal unified Islamic world, living side by side different religions and schools of thought.
Muslims, from whatever persuasion or school of thought that they come from, have a common purpose and what may be called a common strategy. And working on a common strategy and a common purpose will, in a sense, bring the 1.6 billion or 1.8 billion Muslims of the world within the scope of working together towards that objective that they have in common. But this doesn't mean that Muslims are going to have to belong to one school of thought or going to have to speak one language and these other things. Within the unity of strategy and purpose, there is a plurality of ethnicities and linguistic groups and races and schools of thought, etc., etc. So the unity that we're speaking about is a unity that's inclusive of diversity. We don't speak about a unity that imposes. We speak about a unity that accommodates.
All Muslims, whether Sunni or Shia, believe in the Holy Quran. Many verses of the Holy Quran call on Muslims to unite. Chapter 3, verse 103, and hold fast by the covenant of Allah altogether, and be not disunited, and remember the favor of Allah on you when you were enemies. Then He united your hearts, so by His favor you became brethren.
I think the primary objective of Islamic unity at this point is very clear. There's obviously a huge amount of effort to force this false fight between Sunni and Shia. And it is imperative that Muslims from around the world reject this in every which way and make clear that all Muslims, and in fact all people, are brothers and sisters. And I hope and I believe that that is the real point of this conference, and Islamic unity is humanity unifying as well.
The ongoing waves of Islamic awakening in a region can be a lighthouse beaconing the dawn of a new civilization in which Islamic scholars play the all-important role of showing the right path to their people. The Ulama and Islamic Awakening Conference was indeed a major step towards such a future. Solutions to the challenges faced by Muslims all around the world. The conference is organized and held under the auspices of the World Assembly of Islamic Awakening, a body established by the Islamic Republic of Iran in the wake of the Islamic Awakening movement. The Ulama and Islamic Awakening Conference focused mainly on the crisis in Syria and the ongoing Palestine-Israel conflict. The conference also emphasized as key the role of Muslim scholars in fostering further unity among Muslims around the world. The Islamic Republic of Iran has been a staunch supporter of the Muslim revolutions and uprisings in the region since their inception on December 18, 2010, and vows continued support until final victory of the Muslims over their ruling dictators.
پوشالی را هم شکست بدن. لذا اولا وجود الگو که مقاومت بوده، دو نیاز انسان به اینکه یک زندگی شرافتمندانه همراه با عزت داشته باشه. آنچه که این رژیم های استبدادی هدف قرار داده بودن روح انسان بوده، روح آزادگی و عزت انسانی بوده که مردم با قیام های خودشون موفق شدن این را تحقق ببخشند.
Even after toppling their ruling dictators, many revolutionaries are still on the streets calling for more meaningful democratic changes. Frictions among different political and religious groups remain, foreboding wider conflict. Some analysts blame lack of post-revolution planning. Many see economic dissatisfaction as a root cause of the protests. However, Middle East analyst Hossein Rouivaran has a different view.
مقاومت در لبنان و فلسطین مهمترین متغیری است که باورهای مردم را تغییر داد. شکست دادن اسرائیل در ابعاد نظامی یکی از مهمترین متغیرهای تغییر باور در سطح منطقه. مردم از خودشون سوال میکردن اگر میشه اسرائیل که یکی از 5 قدرت بزرگ نظامی دنیاست شکست داد، پس میتوان مبارک را، قذافی را، بن علی را هم شکست داد. اگر میشه آمریکا را در عراق توسط مقاومت شکست داد، پس اگر مردم به سمت قیام برند میتوانند این رژیم های
Iranian capital Tehran has just hosted the 5th International Conference on Islamic Awakening, with over 700 scholars from 63 Muslim and non-Muslim countries taking part. Starting on April 29th, the 2-day Ulama and Islamic Awakening Conference focused on the latest events in the Muslim world, offering potential solutions. Many scholars trace the roots of the current revolutions in the Middle East and North Africa to the 1979 Islamic Revolution in Iran, led by Imam Khomeini. On December 18, 2010, protests broke out in Tunisia, leading to the ouster of President Ben Ali, followed by demonstrations in other Muslim countries, toppling authoritarian regimes in Egypt, Libya, and Yemen.